Okay. There you go. That should be good. Hopefully I'm still in the picture. Yep. All right, awesome. All right, let's bring this way just a little bit. That's butter good. There's my other one. Buttercup's the one I want. All right. Hey, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Hi, Gail. Hey, Jackie's on. All right. I'm doing great. We're going to do some glazing tonight. And Jackie, could you please save or share this on Facebook, if you would, please? All right. This is my yellow glaze, and I added just a little bit of Epsom salt in it, and it is beautiful right now. I did, the last time I glazed, I used a little bit of Epsom salt because the glaze kept settling so bad. And it was that bad, it was like concrete in the bottom, you know? And then it's been a few weeks since I've glazed, and there's nothing on the bottom. It's still suspended. So I'm really happy with that result. It doesn't even feel like there's anything really at the bottom on this at all. That's just awesome. Yeah, Gail, I don't know if you heard, but I'm going to be doing this every night of the week, 7:30 to 8:30. It's a challenge I was given by Leah. So she said, look, she said, why don't you just try it? So we're going to give it a try. And then weekends, I think what I'll do, well, Friday nights, I'll probably be on longer. We'll see about the weekends. Maybe Saturday might do a live. That would be probably later on at night. But nice weather is going to be coming soon, I hope. And then I'll be doing a lot more outside probably on the weekends. Well, so the Epsom salt, I think I did 1 cup. What was it? 1 cup of water. And I think I did 1 teaspoon. I think it was 1 teaspoon of Epsom salt. But then I mixed it up really, really good. So the Epsom salt was completely dissolved, and then poured it into my glaze. But you want to use just a little bit of Epsom salt. You don't want to use a lot. And you could probably even cut back on the water, really, if you don't want to use a lot of water and add it to your glaze. But I wouldn't use a whole lot of Epsom salt to start with. I would just do a little bit. The more you use, it's going to be, it could really mess with your glaze, I think, too, in the end. But yeah, I keep it on my shelf over here. So that way, if I ever need a little bit, I just put a little bit in, but I make sure I mix it in water first really good before I add it to my glaze. So I don't add it directly to my glaze. Yeah, this is perfect. It actually looks pretty good too. Yeah, that's actually a really good consistency there. I'm happy with that. I need a rag or something. No, you all saw me. Well, at least you did, Gail. You're the only one in here right now, but you saw me make all those mugs, and they're still on the shelf over here. I pulled the handles. I did the handles already with the extruder, so you won't be able to see that part of it. Eventually, you will. But as far as this batch goes, I already did the handles. They're over there, and I have an order here that I have to get out. So it's got to go in the kiln tonight. So I have a lot of glazing to do, which I probably won't do it all on live here like this, but it's got to go in the kiln tonight. So the mugs have to wait, and they'll wait. I have that shelving over here that's got the plastic around it, and it really helps keep everything damp for a good long time. Plus, I do bag some of it as well, and it really helps a lot. So, so yeah, I'm glad to have that. I just bought the shelf there. I looked on Amazon, and they had plastic covers to go over top of them, and thought, why not do that and have a damp cabinet, sort of, you know? And that works really well. I would recommend, if you were going to do that, to get the one that's all plastic, because apparently the one I bought, it's cloth on the back, and of course cloth breathes. So I wish I would have gotten one that was all plastic. It would probably be better than it is right now, but it's working good. What can I say? It's working good. I really shouldn't complain about it, but if I do it again, I'm going to get one that's all plastic, you know? It would be really good, I think. But they stay pretty long in there, probably about 3 days before I start seeing them dry out down here in the basement. And I run a dehumidifier all the time down here, so that tends to try to draw or dry things out a lot more. So yeah, I like it. So anyhow, let's see what I miss. Thank you, Jackie. Hi, Joyce. I did not see you jump in here. Good to see you in here. What's the order for? Oh, okay, so the order was for somebody that wanted, and I never did these before, but they're cake pedestals. Why I've never made one, I don't know. So I made several. There's a couple on the shelf over there, but then they wanted one that has the name and date on it and stuff like that. But I put the name and date on the bottom, and so this is the one you see over here. This is the cake pedestal. And then also we ordered a platter, a large platter. This has turned out to be the biggest one I can get in my kiln. I can get a maximum of like 22 inches in diameter in my kiln. And you know, when you just have dry clay and trying to put it in your kiln, this here just barely fit when I put it in, and of course it shrank quite a bit. I lost almost 2 inches now in the diameter, pretty well 2 inches. So till it's done, it's going to be around 18 inches or so. 18 and a half inches is probably what it would end up being. But anyhow, you can see this is a huge platter. This is actually the biggest platter I've made. I have another one. It's drying over here, but anyhow, And of course, I do the back as well, my logo and stuff. So yeah, it's a huge, huge platter. I don't mind doing these. They just take up the whole shelf. I mean, the whole, I have to put them on the very top shelf because there's no room for even stilts in my kiln with this. So it takes up its whole shelf and it's at the very top. So I can really only fire one of these at one time. And so I'm not going to probably do a whole lot of them, but that was my first one anyhow. And it turned out. I was surprised the bottom actually did not crack or nothing. The first couple I did when they were drying, they dried uneven, I guess, and then it would crack. So I finally got a couple that worked. Man, it was a chore, but I made it. So, but anyhow, I have those to do. I have a couple. I have sponge holders to do that are orders. Cake pan or pie plate. I have that to do yet. So I have a nice bowl here too. It's a nice bowl, you know. There's the bottom of it, and then the rim. I left a little bit of a ring here, and this is so you can actually hang it on your wall. So you can put a wire around. I'm actually going to put a wire on it, so you can actually then hang it to on your wall, because typically something this big, there's nowhere to put it, and to be able to hang on your wall is convenient. So these large ones, I'm putting that ring on just so you can do that. So then, of course, I have these here, which are butter bells. I changed the design on these. I used to have a handle on them, but after using these for quite a while, I decided that that handle got in the way, because when I use it, I prefer to be able to take it out and set it on the counter like this. It's nice and sturdy, and you can, of course, scoop your butter right out of there. It also has a little bit of rim in here. I noticed that the water will run down here and create a mess. So this is a little pull in here that will catch the water, hopefully not on your counter. That way, when you go and put it back in, just like so. So there's my butter bells. What am I missing here? Yeah, it's a huge platter. Oh, that's awesome, Joyce. That's awesome. Man, you know, it's difficult because plates and platters tend to want to warp on you or crack right in the freaking middle. And just the fact that it made it through bisque is a big thing, you know. That's when this platter here made it through bisque, I was like, holy smokes. I couldn't believe it. All improvements, absolutely. Hey, Leah, how you doing, girl? Yeah, they're all improvements. I've been making a lot of things, trying to make a lot of improvements on things, you know. And this was one of them that when I was using it, I just felt like it just, that knob on the top was okay. And it did sit flat on the counter, but it could still wobble, right? It could still do this. And I just thought that the flat bottom made it more sturdy. You can, you know. So anyhow, when you start using the pieces, you start realizing, wait a minute here, I should really change that design, you know? So anyhow, there's just little things like that, you know, that make a difference, you know? Like even this pie plate here, I put a ring on it right here so you could actually put a wire on it. I even have a slot here. Of course, if it lays like that in your dishwasher, water will run out of it, but that's not so much of a big deal, but it's convenient, right? So, but yeah, there's the cake pedestal. So nice and big. The base is thick, okay? So I made this part heavier because I do not want this thing falling over if at all possible. So this is wider. This is thicker to add more weight at the base. So it's, you know what I mean? You can lean it over, I mean, oh my gosh, like that far, and it's not going to fall over on me. So that made me really happy. The base is nice and flat. It's perfect. So we shall see how it turns out at the end, but I think it's going to be beautiful. I have their names on here and the date they're getting married, and of course my stamp and everything. So I need to sand that just a little bit, get some Sharpies out of there, if anything I may have missed. And there's a piece of magnesium right here I need to get. I felt that. So anyhow, there you go. What am I missing here? I heard to never put a plate or platter on top shelf for a glaze fire, so I won't. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had too much problem with mine so far on the top shelf. That might change. I hope it don't. My top shelf is a little bit cooler, I think, but it's not that bad. But I also use that downdraft vent. Whether that helps or hinders, I'm not sure yet. I don't leave it on all the time either. So, but the kiln is okay as far as the heat from the bottom to the top. It seems like it is a little different. Obviously, we all see that, but it's not real bad right now. Like my old kiln I had, it was really bad. The temperature ranges from the top to the bottom were horrible on it. So, but the brick weren't as thick either. This has got the thicker brick in it, so that helps a lot. There is a potter that makes plates and platters who sprinkles the kiln shelves so they can move. Well, that's probably a good idea. They probably do put something on the shelf. I don't know what that would be. Maybe sand would melt, though. I don't know. What would they put on that shelf to make it do that? With sand, actually, I would think sand would melt. It's glass. I don't know. I guess you could put it on stilt, small, kiln stilts or furniture, whatever you want to call them. Maybe sand or a chemical, not on the bottom shelf. Yeah. Yeah, my bottom is hot on my kiln, but it's not a huge difference from top to bottom. I just know it's hotter because when I use the cones in it to get a feel for what my temperature changes were, they weren't extreme. And even my glazes turned out pretty equal through the whole kiln. There was a slight change, but most people would never see that. People, if you're a potter, you're going to see a change, but most people won't pick that up. So let's see. You said it has to do air circulation. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe it is the air circulation. Maybe it's ground up fire clay. Well, that could be Gail. I mean, if you had any pieces like this, I would imagine, you probably grind them up or something, and you probably do that, because that probably would be pretty good. You're right. That probably would be pretty good. So anyhow, I'll let you see the consistency of my glaze, if I can, on the camera. That's what it is on the stick. And you see, it's not really bad. And even when I do it with my finger, it's not bad. I think that's actually pretty good. It's not too thick for me. It's not too thin. This is the yellow glaze, my wife's favorite. So I need to do a few of these in yellow, and then probably a few of these in yellow as well. I need to make more of all this stuff because I plan on loading my year up with shows if I can. So I'm going to need that. You're going to need that inventory, So I will just check over my pieces before I glaze them, just to make sure there's nothing on here that catches my eye or my fingers when I'm rubbing on it. Like the bottoms, I'll take sandpaper over a little bit. Even though they come out of the kiln, you still need to sand them a little bit, but it's not as bad. And these actually, some of these are actually burnished, so they're actually not even bad at all. I like to burnish my pieces before I bisque fire them. I find that helps keep them nice and smooth on the bottoms. Getting myself some sandpaper here, just to lightly sand some of that stuff. And I don't have any laying over here. I thought I did. Where would I have put all my sandpaper then? Well, let's see. There's some there. It's not what I'm looking for, though. No, I'll come back over here. I know there's some over here. I've got some over here. All right. So how's everybody doing tonight? Hope you all are doing good. So typically I'll go through and do all these first. Do the bottoms. Get the dust off of them. Some of these I really could let go. They're really not that bad. Double foot helps. I think it does too. And for the plates and stuff, I feel like that really does help having the double foot. It gives it more support in the center of the plate as well. You can keep them just flat, I guess, you know. But I did some that way. But I find that I really don't like them completely flat on the bottom. If I were you, I would probably experiment, you know. Make a plate, try it out, see how you like it. That's really the best I've found is to use your own stuff, you know. Give it a test. Make sure you like it. Wish I could get the chat beat to be bigger. Looks thin. What looks thin, Gail? You mean the glaze looks thin? Does the glaze look thin to you? Well, good, Leah. Yeah, no, I should be using a mask. You're right. You should be. Yeah, if I do anything in here, I usually vacuum or use a sponge to clean up my dust. But I'm not trying to get any of the dust airborne. You know, I'm just lightly sanding it. That was actually not even bad. I'm going to go over this a little bit. Yeah, I like my stamp. Sometimes it's hard to get it to come out completely. Actually, I should make my sandpaper wet. But I mean, it's been working okay for me. So that's one thing I usually do is wet my sandpaper, but I didn't do that. So let's see. Yeah, I probably do have one somewhere. Keeping the sandpaper wet actually helps it though. That's what the bottom looks like then. My stamp and everything. Hopefully it comes in clear. I don't know if it is or not. These actually turned out really nice. I'm happy with these. I'm going to have to come in here a little bit with some, clean out the dirt or something I got in it. But all right. They're all done. I do like the double foot on these. That makes it nice. Feels pretty good. Go over just a little bit. Making you crazy. Thank you, Leah. Are those bacon cookers? Well, Joyce, funny thing you say that because I do want to make some bacon cookers, but these have a spout on them. These have a spout, so the water will drain back into your sink. So they're for sponges. The bacon one would not have that spout though. And this might not be quite as high. It might stick out further. You know, just thinking about the bacon and stuff and how it's going to lay, the sides will probably be tall, like straighter as well. So I'll have to think about how I want to make those, but anyhow, these are for the sponges. Wet sand in the sink so I don't get dust in the studio. That's probably a really good idea, Gail, is the wet sand in the sink. I'm not saying do as I do, just this is what I do. So I used to wax the bottoms of my pieces too, but I stopped doing a lot of that. Trying to cut down on the work that it takes for me to do everything. So, all right. I don't know about these here. That one. These actually I made really thin. I think if I make them again, I'll probably make them a little bit thicker. They're very light. I didn't leave a whole lot of clay in these things, which I probably should have because of the way they're going to be used. But they seem pretty sturdy, and stoneware is pretty strong as well. So that actually feels really nice. I'm not going to do anything with that piece. Might go over this rim a little bit. Now, I probably usually do this after they come out of the kiln, after the last firing. The top, I'm going to let that the way it is. I kind of like that. So, this is actually really nice. It's funny how I must have paid more attention to some of them than I did the others when I made them. Some of them feel really good on the bottom. Inside looks good. Looks good. This one here has got a small crack in it. I don't think I'm going to use it. This piece is good, but this piece here I don't like. I think the crack's just going to get bigger, I think. I mean, it might seal it up with glaze a little bit, but there's still a crack in it, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to use that one. So we'll keep this one along the side, and I'll just make another one to fit this. That was good. That was good. Yeah, see, that's smooth. It's nice and smooth. I could use a little bit of help. Hey, Cynthia, how you doing? Glad to see you in here, Cynthia. So this is partially Leah's fault, okay? Her and I talked, and she said, look, just do it for a while. See what happens, you know? So I'm going to do lives every day. From like 7:30 to like 8:30. Or, you know, whatever. But she told me, you need to do this. Give it a shot. See if your followers go up. Or your subscribers or whatever. Which I never really cared a whole lot about that. It's nice to see them go up, but I never really put more, you know, too much to that, you know. But anyhow. So we can blame Leah for tonight. And, well, for this whole thing. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Leah. I know. Fortunately, it's fault. Yes, you keep harassing me. She does have a good point. You know, Leah does always have good points, you know. I think if I was ever in any kind of trouble, I'd want Leah as my lawyer. She just, I think, would be really good at it. Me three, Cynthia. My mama always told me I should have been a lawyer. You should have. Yeah, these are good. I find that the rims of these things, I probably should try to burnish these a lot better, or just try to burnish them, period, because I don't know that I did that on these. Definitely burnishing helps keep that tooth down on your clay. I mean, it's going to come out a little bit, but it's not near as bad. All right. You're already dry. All right. It's actually pretty good too. This is kind of the final step. I mean, if you have a rough spot, this is your time to get it. Right now, they're easy to sand. So if you missed it when you were throwing or whatever, or trimming, this is the last time. So it's a lot harder to clean them up if you let it go and come out. And also if you have defects around an edge, and you certainly don't want to have those for the last firing. So, and I did. I burnished the bottoms of these things and they're smooth. So I should have done that around this edge as well. Yeah, bottom's smooth. This side looks good. Yeah, these are really light, man. I do need to add more clay to the bottoms. I think these are okay, I think. It's easy to be good, y'all. YouTube is a glitch. Your YouTube is a glitch, or has a glitch? Glitchy? Yeah, try restarting your phone, because it doesn't look like it's glitchy on my end, at least. I don't know if anybody else is having any problems, but all right. So those are done. Did I do the pie plate? I did not do him. I did the other plate. So he's not bad either, but when it comes to these kinds of things that you're going to be on the counter and stuff, I really make sure they're smooth before they leave here, because I do not want to have them scratching anybody's pieces, anybody's countertop or anything like that. That would be disastrous if that happened. I would not like that at all. No problems, Gail? Good. Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, it looks like we have 5 people watching tonight. That's good. It's a good start. Let's see, how many people by the end of this week will I have watching? Show of hands. How many people you think I'm going to have watching by the end of this week on my live? Let's say by Friday. Any guesses? Let's see if Leah's going to be right. I think this has become my wife's bowl. This will probably be a yellow bowl. I've got a little crack right here, but it does not go through. It looks like it's just where I added that little piece. So this will probably be my wife's mixing bowl. And she loves my mixing bowls. So I think that's what's going to happen with this one. This wasn't an order, thank God, but I don't know about any other potters that are on here. It seems like we have a lot of stuff that just sometimes just don't make it, and there ain't a darn thing you can do about it. You usually have to throw them out. Throw them out or use them in your own house, you know? I like the ring to these. They ring like a bell already. And I bisque fired these to like an 04. That's what I found actually works for this clay body is 04. A week isn't long enough to test. You're probably right, Gail. It probably will take longer than a week. This owner studio uses all my seconds, or I donate them the seconds. Okay. Well, I don't sell my seconds. I have a whole shelf over here of my seconds, and I'm sure every potter's got one. A shelf full of seconds, unless of course you're selling them as seconds. But I don't really care to sell my seconds. I mean, family. Well, I tell you what, really, my wife is the only one that gets seconds, and that's because I don't want to sell them. That's really just the main reason. I had a customer here not long ago, and she wanted to buy some seconds, and I wouldn't sell them. And maybe I should, but I never wanted to. This thing here is just perfect. I don't see anything wrong with him at all. Just perfect. So I'm going to leave him go. And then here's my cake pedestal. With the top, I burnished the top, and it feels beautiful. There is a spot on here. Where is it? I felt it before. Where is it now? Now I'm not feeling it. I had a piece of that. I think it's magnesium or something that popped out. You don't either sell seconds. Terry, put out some YouTube shorts. Also, add a subscribe button. That might help. I don't have a subscribe button. I didn't know that I needed one. I suppose I should. Clayworks has a big second sale every year. Okay. Hey! Are you still making pottery? Sunset. I saw you were cooking some things. I did catch that. And a lot of things too. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're still making. How's the little one doing? Hope your little one's doing good. You need more clay? Growing like crazy? Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Good to see you back in here. Good to see everybody back in here. I'm good. Man. I haven't heard Barbie yet. Is Barbie in the house? Maybe I should put it out there in the ether. Hey, Barbie. See if her ears start ringing. That's pretty nice. I don't feel that piece anymore. I'm glad it's gone. All right. I have one last piece here, which is this piece. I'm going to make sure that the bottom is nice. Let's see. We donate and Clayworks gets the money. It's a fundraiser, always a huge crowd. Oh, wow. It lasts a full weekend. Very cool. What is... Okay. Another moderator handled it, whatever it was. I don't know why it did that. I have no idea. Now this one here, I also put a ridge on here to put a piece of wire. And that way you can, of course, hang it on your wall. Where are you going to store this thing, you know? I actually signed these big pieces. So in case anybody was wondering that was here the last time I made a bunch of mugs, I was saying earlier about it, but I'll repeat since new people came in, that the mugs are still over here. I did pull the handles. I used the extruder to do the handles. I still have to put the handles on the mugs. So y'all didn't miss that part except for using the extruder, which you will see that sooner or later. So everything feels really good on this. Make sure there's no Sharpies. This is sold, by the way. So, all right. Okay. Let's get some glazing done. AMSR. AMSR, yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, Sunset. I appreciate that comment. Okay, so I ended up wiping these down first. So let's get some of these dipped. I'm going to look at them a third time. just to make sure that I've caught everything that I didn't like and fix if I can. Looks pretty good. Stir my glaze up again. Which this, like I said earlier, this glaze here is staying pretty well lifted, which is nice. Let me get one of my scoops, because I don't have enough glaze in that bucket to dunk it or dip it. So, I mean, it's not, it's not deep enough. So we're just going to do this. I'm going to use these things. I'll grab it like that. Since there's a hole in the bottom, it will actually help me. And I can dunk this much of it. So that actually might work. That's at least one coat. That's one fast coat. Should have had my sponge ready to go. Don't have to worry about getting all of it, because I'm going to come back and put another coat on it yet. I'm going to do a couple of these. Well, probably more than just a couple in yellow. People seem to like that yellow color. If you haven't seen the yellow, yellow is one of these. This is the yellow I'm doing right now. So, and of course, this is the speckled clay I'm using. So it's a beautiful glaze. My wife actually was the one that picked it out. She really liked it. So, and everybody else seems to like it too. I really like it because with this clay body, the specks really come through. And I really like that about this clay body. Yellow for summer, yeah. Will you do 2 colors on the big platter? So Joyce, the customer wants 1 color on the big platter. They want it in oatmeal, the same as the pie stand. They want it in oatmeal. The customer really loves the oatmeal color, which is, I'll show you. Which this is the oatmeal color that they want to use. So that's what it looks like there. So that's what they would like to have it. That's what they're going to get. I would like to do a large platter like that with all different, like a mixture of colors. I think it'd be really cool. Really colorful. Thank you, Joyce. When I dunked that, it actually did everything, which was nice. No, I'm too, there we go. I got some runs on that one. We're gonna have to smooth them out before I dip it again. Whoa, don't you do that on me. All right. They're going to get dipped at least another time yet. So let's do another one, and then I want to do 3 of those. One of these is going to have to be the dark blue. All right. Have some room here. Just need enough room for you. All right. Let me sit there once. These tongs, I got a love-hate relationship with these tongs. I'd rather just use my hand and just dip it and be done with it. Get the majority of the glaze off the bottom. Glazing is the hard part, I feel like. You've got to be super careful. Yeah, you do. What am I doing with your glaze? I'm using it. It's an expensive glaze. I'm using it. All right, so that's the 3 of those. We'll let them dry a little bit. And what we'll do is, after they dry a little bit, I'll go back over them, clean up any higher spots that I see, dip them again. And that should be probably, it only takes about 2 dips on those. With the yellow glaze, it seems to work really well with just 2. That's always a trial and error, you know. You always got to test your glazes. I usually test my glazes on good pieces, so. And I've had some good results too, so I can't complain too much about it. I'm sure that I'm going to have some failures here and there, but anxiety. In a face like that. Yeah, the glaze you do want to be careful with. You know, it takes practice, and you got to know the glaze, and that's just really just using it. So do tests with it, like do a piece, a test piece where you can do 3 coats of glaze that are separate. Okay, so you do 1, then you have a spot where you've done 2 dips, and then a spot where there's 3 dips. That way you can kind of see the layering on you know, how many glazes or how many dips do you need for the glaze to turn out correctly for you. 3 dips could be just too heavy, you know, or maybe it could be the glaze is already too thick, you know, and then you'll see that as well. So it's just a matter of making some test pieces and then just trying it and getting to know your glazes, how they react with your clay body. Not all glazes work with all clay bodies, and I found that out with this stuff. Not all the glazes I had bought work good with this. They looked ugly. So ugly they were fugly. How's that? All right. You know what? And I think this is tall enough. I could actually just dip it. How about that? Pretty well got all the way to the bottom. There we go. This glaze is probably one of my best glazes when it comes to dipping and stuff. It just reacts really well with everything. I have some that I have a white glaze, like a pure white glaze, and it doesn't really like this clay body too much. So I'm working with it to try to straighten it out. We'll see how that does, but we're going to put you back over there because I'm not going to do another one in yellow. My wife will divorce me if I use too much of her yellow. So these all get, like I said, get dipped again. And these here, I keep this rim cleaned off. So the top actually keeps the glaze on it. And this very bottom edge is where I wipe the glaze. Okay. Let's do 3 of those. Well, I wish I could make my chat bigger. So I don't have to lean down and see what y'all are saying. Yeah, she does love yellow. Definitely do love my yellow. Murray, congrats on 300 subs. Thank you. Thank you, Sunset. It takes a while to get there. At least for me it did. But I'm not on here all the time. Except now I'm going to be because of Leah. Let's see. What? 300 subs. Let's go. Yeah. Do you fire the top and bottom separate? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do fire them separate. When I fire this piece here like that. So in other words, this edge is bare clay. And then I fire, of course, this piece just setting up like that. I could do this edge and leave this bare clay right here. But I'd sooner just fire them like this. That way, I think so far they've turned out really well doing them like this. And I don't have any issues of them sticking or anything like that either. When I bisque fire, I fire them like this. When I bisque fire it, obviously, because it doesn't matter at that point. But you can stack them. If you stack correctly, you can stack your pieces. I made a mistake once, and it was a bad mistake, really bad mistake, where I put pieces on top of each other, and they freaking warped. I mean, it was just... But you live and you learn, right? I mean, that's what this is all about. If you're not learning, you're not having fun, right? There's some spots I need to clean up. Now, after the second time I dip these, I'll clean this edge a lot better. Leah. Yeah, Leah, I think you were restarting your phone, and I mentioned by the end of the week, show of hands, how many people do you think I can have watching a live? I don't know how many new subscribers I'll get, but I wonder how many people I could get watching the live. Doing it horizontal, right? I mean, we know horizontal is not favorite for younger people, but I'm just curious. I mean, you know, I don't think, and I think Gail brought up a good point where Friday deadline is probably not a good deadline. Probably needs to take longer than that. That's down low enough. Good enough for me. That went really well. Let's do one more of those. Yes, if 90% come out good, we say it was a good firing. You're right, Gail. You're right about that. You gotta really love this stuff, you know, because it's a lot of work. You can have a lot of heartache. And I don't know, some people don't realize how long it takes to glaze because there's like driplets on here and stuff. I gotta clean them up, and it's either that or really get better at my glazing technique. But it takes a while to glaze everything. Fire everything twice. Like Gail says, you could have 10% failure on your pieces, you know? And what's really bad is if it's the very end and it's and you have a failure, then that really sucks. Because then the piece becomes a second, of course. Let's stir this up a little bit. I haven't stirred it for a little bit. I gotta remind myself to. I mean, this one here it doesn't settle out much anymore at all. It's almost perfect. It's just. So this usually is not too exciting to people to watch. When I get on the wheel, I think it'll be a lot better. People like to watch the wheel throwing, which of course, you know, most people, that's what attracts them. Some people, this is probably the boring part is all the glazing, but it's got to be done. You know, that's just the way it is. It's all part of the process. Let's use this. If I could stand it, I'd have a hot air gun blowing on this to make this a little bit faster, dry it faster. Okay, so those three are done. I don't know if these are ready yet. They're still a little chilly. They still are a little bit cold. So I really don't want to put more glaze on them yet, I don't think. I want to wait till they are dry enough that I can get another good coat of glaze on them. You can just tell by the feel of something if it's dry or not, because it'll get colder. Like the pieces that dry out, the clay, you would need to make sure they're completely dry before you put them in the kiln for the bisque, or they'll they'll explode. Water expands when you heat it up, and it wants to boil. And of course, it don't like to be in clay. It will explode that clay out. So, but you can always feel the temperature of the clay. If it feels like room temperature, then it's completely dry. If you feel a cold spot in there, usually the bottoms are a little bit thicker. If you put up your cheek or something, you feel it's a little bit colder than the side, then your clay is still wet on the bottom, and you do not want to put that in your kiln. If you put it in your kiln, you're taking a chance. Number two, if you do it, put it on a long, slow start. So you don't want to go above boiling. You just want to add heat to the piece and do it for hours at a time to make sure you get all the air or all the water dried out of your piece before you start ramping up in your cycle. I rushed a load one time, and I had two pieces that still had a little bit of water in them. It blew the bottom right out of them. Thank God it didn't take out anything else with it, but it makes a mess in your kiln, and you just destroyed two pieces, just by rushing. So pottery is something you just can't rush, just can't. So even though we want to sometimes, we can't. Like when I feel this piece, it's room temperature right now. There's other pieces a little bit chillier. You can just feel it. So this needs to be yellow because I said it was my wife's piece. Is she still on here, Jacqueline? This is going to be your mixing bowl now because I found out it has a little bit of a crack on the bottom. It's not through the piece. It's not through the piece. It's just a surface thing right here. It will probably open up a little bit, but there's nothing through the piece. And I'm pretty confident it's not going to go through. But I can't sell it like that. I mean, I probably could, but I'm not going to sell it like that. So she just got a free piece of pottery. How's that? If you're married to a potter, you're going to get all kinds of free stuff. I guarantee you. Oh, I'm missing my chat. What you all saying about me? Let's see. Leah, try it and figure out how it can add written subscribe button. I don't know how to. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I need to do that. I don't know how to YouTube, guys. I'm figuring it out as I go. I would love to have two cameras, and I don't know how I'm going to do that either. I have no idea. I have my nice tablet here, but I don't know how to hook this all up and stuff to make it happen. I'm sure Leah knows, but Joyce, what do you mean? Okay, I can make a QR code for this channel. Leah, you can do anything you want. If you want to make a QR code, Leah, go ahead. I think I have a QR code somewhere, but if you need one for the channel, just go ahead. It don't bother me none. I think I might have one. Do I have one somewhere? I guess I didn't do one. I have it for the Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal thing, but I don't think I have one for the YouTube. I don't think so. Have you ever watched something and saw a piece on the screen that says subscribe? Joyce is asking. I have seen that before, but I don't know how they do that. I think it's something they add in after they edit the video. I think you can add that in on the video and make it a link. Just like at the end of videos, a lot of times you'll see where it goes to another video of theirs. There's a way of doing that as well. I can make QR code for this channel. Okay, yeah, I already read that. Oh, like animator, yes, you definitely do that. StreamYard can also do that. Just saying, might be worth looking into. Okay, I'll look into StreamYard. Can you make a banner on the screen? With YouTube, I don't think so. I don't know. Probably with StreamYard you can. I think you can. I think I used that before, actually. Maybe I need to look that one up. Okay. All right, Joyce. Yeah, Joyce, I mean, I think you guys seem like you know more about this than I do. That's why I have good friends like you guys. It's Leah's goal for me to get a lot more subscribers on here. And by the way, let me take a moment. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the bell notification. So and click all when you click it, and that way you'll get notified when I do go live. I can tell you that right now I'm going to be live every day this week, and every day next week, and every day the following week until Leah tells me I have to stop or I can stop, which is probably never. But at any rate, I will be live from 7:30 until roughly 8:30 or whatever I decide to quit. But anyhow, I'm starting at 8:30 every day. Weekends, I will have to notify. I'll probably put a comment out or whatever on my YouTube page or Facebook page that will notify you an hour before I go live, usually on weekends. Okay? But anyhow, for now until the end of time, I will be live, unless something happens, of course, but I'll be live every day starting at 7:30 at night. Okay? Write that down. Put it on your phone as a reminder. Hey, Terry's going live tonight. And if you know anybody that's into this stuff, like watching it or something like that, like seeing a comical guy make a fool of himself some days, let him know about my channel, you know? All right. This is going to be fun. So I think what I'm going to try to do is do the inside first. Try this. Roll it around to the edge. And I think what I'm going to do is keep the edge of this bowl bare clay. I might as well go around a second time if I've got it already here. I don't know how well that's going to look, but it might turn out all right. All right. There we go. That went pretty well. Let's see. That's a many videos that show up on their YouTube. Okay. You may never stop. Oh yeah, we got a new granddaughter this weekend, by the way. Yep, a new granddaughter. I have a grandson on the way, which is very exciting too. Granddaughter is in Florida, so we probably won't get to see her very much, unfortunately. Unless we somehow can make a trip down there, but that'll be difficult. God willing, we'll be able to, though. Ooh. That is going to work out all right. Try to keep that running around there. Clean that edge off while it's still wet. So, yeah, I do need to sell more pots so we can make it down to Florida. All right, Jackie, there's your yellow bowl, your yellow mixing bowl. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, but I think that looks pretty good. I'll do the bottom here a little bit, but all right. So let's get the oatmeal out. I got a lot of work to do with the oatmeal. The yeller's done for now. I'm going to let those pieces dry. And I'm turning yellow right now. There's yellow glaze all over me. Soon call me Old Yeller. I'm turning yeller. All right. Stop with the stupid jokes, Terry. All right. I'm going to rinse this off over here so I can reuse it for the oatmeal glaze. I tell you what, I love having a sink down here. Yeah, that's something that some people don't have, and I'm blessed to have that sink. I'm telling you, I'm so glad I have it. All right, that's sealed tight. Then we got an oatmeal glaze here. And this is a little bucket. And I got some big pieces. So I'm going to have to try to be creative here on how I handle this. Let's get these cleaned up a little bit. Actually, I have another stick I can use. What I need to do is get one of them cameras that follow me around in my studio. That would be cool. Hey, I could do a 360 video. That'd be neat. Is anybody still doing that? 360? Have to get one of them funny cameras, I guess. But that'd be kind of neat because then it would follow you around your studio as you're doing stupid stuff like cleaning your tools off so you can use them again. That'd be a good idea. Be cool if I had more cameras in here. Then I could do that. All right, so that's nice and clean. That's nice and clean. We're ready to rock and roll for some oatmeal. I'll probably show the one piece tonight, and then we'll quit for the night. At least we'll quit the live for tonight because it is almost 9 o'clock, guys, which is nice. You guys got to see another half an hour. See, I should say 7:30 till whenever I decide to quit, right? But I figure at least an hour is good. If you get extra, hey, this is bonus clip, guys. This is bonus material right here. This one could use some Epsom salt. It's not like cement, but it's definitely laying on the bottom a lot more. Unfortunately, this glaze here has got a lot of those black specks in it, which I'm not super happy about, but that's the way this oatmeal is. And I found that I got to stir it up, let it sit just a little bit, and then use it. Otherwise, it gets way too dark. When it turns out, it doesn't look as nice. I don't know if I have a piece for an example, but so I gotta stir it all up, let it sit just a little bit, and then try it. But I do need to find something I could pour into that's probably bigger than this little bucket. And I'm currently not seeing anything that I can use. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything I can use right now. All right, so we're going to give that just a couple minutes just to settle the big stuff. It's funny because I strain this. I buy this dry, and I run it through a sieve. When I mix it and stuff, I run it through a sieve just in case there's anything in there, because usually there is. Any big chunks or anything like that. So I sieve it, and then I run it through a sieve twice. Why? Just I don't know. So you don't get any big chunks anymore, but this stuff here just has a material in it that it's small enough to go through my sieve, and it doesn't leave hard spots on the piece. It just, the coloring is so dark that it turns the oatmeal more of a dark, like a burnt oatmeal is what it kind of looks like a burnt oatmeal. I don't like that color. I want it to be like a good looking oatmeal like you saw in that piece. So that's why that's it anyhow. What am I missing with my chat? Let me catch up on you guys while we're waiting on that. Anybody else talking? Oh, yep. That was the last comment. It was Jackie. All right. I guess everybody's good. I know this is a little boring. I'll try to liven it up with myself, as much as I can. So you got to see a little bit at least on what I do, what I personally do, going through my stuff. Some people might be more meticulous. I don't know. Some people might use a respirator. That's probably a really good idea. Thank you, Gail, for calling me out. I knew somebody would, and it would probably be Gail. But you should use a respirator if you're going to sand any pots. If you're going to do anything with dry glazes, you need to wear a respirator. The dry clay that you might have laying around your studio, don't use a brush. Use a vacuum, okay? Or mop. But don't try using a broom. You don't want the silica to get up in the air and breathe it and have problems with your lungs. So it's very important when you're working around clay, when you're working around glazes, to wear a respirator when you have dry particles that could actually get airborne. Okay, keep your floors clean. Vacuum them. Get a bucket and a mop them. Okay, you don't want dry clay laying around your studio. You look around my studio, you will probably see that laying around. But I do actually vacuum. I have a big giant vacuum that I use to vacuum up the floor and everything. I don't have a mop down here, but that's what I use. Do I wear a respirator? No, I don't. If I'm doing my glazes, I go outside. When I'm pouring my dry glazes and mixing and stuff, I go outside, and I bring them in the house. So I'm in the air, and I'm always upwind. I make sure of that too. Should I buy a respirator? Absolutely, I should. But this is what I do, and I'm not saying it's what you should do. By no means do what I do like that. Not good for you. So that's my service announcement for today. All right. I love my gosh, getting old, my eyes is just, let's see. Joyce sent you. Hey, Larry, how you doing? It's good to see you in here, Larry. And thank you, Joyce, for sending Larry over. I hope you end up liking this channel and then subscribing. I'll be on here every day this week and every day for probably forever. I don't know. We'll see. But today we're doing something that most people do find boring, which is glazing. Most of the time I'm on the wheel, you know. So you can see my wheel over here. So I'm usually over there doing that when I'm doing lives. But today we are doing some glazing. So anyhow, thank you for joining us today, Larry, for tonight. You do as she tells you. You must be her husband. Is that the case? I can kind of get the feel for that. Is that true? I love the oatmeal and the walnut. I do too. Joyce, I love that combination. Let's see. I do have a piece here somewhere that does show the walnut glaze. Yes. All right. Here you go. There you go. The walnut glaze on the rim, oatmeal in the middle. I love that. I love that too. That is such a really good combination, especially with this clay body, the speckled clay. I love this. This is just sweet. So I'm going to do more of this. I'm definitely going to do more of this. This is something that I would buy. Okay. It's a great combination. Let's see. Thanks. I'm trying to be as funny as I can. Too close. Okay. All right. All right. Hey, Ben, how you doing there, buddy? Yeah, I agree, man. I love that glaze combination. And I love actually the outside. I think I did this this is a white linen out here because it gives you a buff kind of look. And then with the walnut over top and the way it runs, it just is so cool. This is by far probably one of my best ones besides my cinnamon and walnut. I do like those as well. The walnut glaze, I love the way the walnut glaze runs off the edge. And it just is so cool. There's some blues in there if you look real close. It's just so cool. So definitely one of my favorites. Hey, Ben, how'd your pie, or not pie, how did your bread thing turn out? Here's the latest one I did, Ben. I'm not going to take the top off, obviously, because this is still drying and I don't want to break the handle. But this is my latest piece I did. And I made a tool to actually do this, to do the chattering on there. I made a tool to do that. And it really turned out cool. I really like how it looks. This is a large bread maker. So I have bread makers in my family. So this is why I've been doing these. Not everybody makes their bread. So yeah, this is my piece. I even do the bottoms. Really cool too. You can see a closer look of the chattering I did. So yeah, that's one of my pieces. I'm very happy about it, how it turned out. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's fired. But it was a pleasant surprise. I got to say, and I don't know how many people follow or are spiritually driven by God or anything like that, but I'll tell you what, here lately, it just seems like I come down here and I feel so blessed because I feel like I've been given all these ideas and I've been pushing myself a little bit harder. But I feel very energetic and to be down here and blessed, like I said. and I've been making a lot of newer stuff, and have been just adding more. I don't know, more stuff that just more stuff to the pieces that look better, you know, than just a basic bowl or something. So anyhow, just a little whatever, a little rant. Let me look at my chat. I can't see these daggone glasses. Don't get old, Ben. Yeah, let's see. No cigar. Oh man, that's nice. Great. Mine made it into the pug. Oh no. Well, you know, like you said that you don't have anybody that makes bread, but I have the one that I did fire, and it turned out really well. This was the one I think I told you I'd used like a 6 pounds of clay, but you can see here how it turned out. I did not glaze the inside, and I did not glaze the inside of this. That's the bottom, but they really turned out really nice. I'm really happy with these. But that's a little bit smaller than the one I just showed you. But like I said, I got people in my family that make bread, so they were asking about it. So I never made one, so there you go. I finally made one, and now I'm making more of them. So I don't know. They're kind of a pain to make because there's so much work to them. You know, you're not just done when you throw them. Of course, you got to throw the lid upside down, and it's a bit of a pain. So, but anyhow, I made, of course, this. Somebody asked me a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, seriously, if I can make a cake pedestal. And I said, well, I never made a cake pedestal before. And so there's 2 back there that I made, and realized they didn't make them big enough. And because they wanted at least 12 inches. Well, there you go. So they want it for their wedding. And this has to get done by the weekend, by Saturday. So really they need to pick it up Wednesday because they're leaving Thursday to go to the wedding. So here I am getting it done. I go in the kiln tonight. So anyhow, I made one of my cake stands. It's one of the first ones I did. So, and then here, made one of these. So this turned out rather nice. This is right now roughly 19 inches in diameter. So I want to make them a little bit bigger, but I can't go much bigger. I think I was pretty close to my limit on my kiln to even get this to fit in when it was just dry clay. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to get much bigger than this at all. Maybe a tiny bit, but it ain't going to be much. So anyhow, this sold. Somebody wanted it, so, but got a nice rim around here to put a wire so you can actually hang it on your wall, because we're going to hang it. Where are you going to put this besides hang it? So anyhow, so yeah, that's what I've been up to, Ben. I've been practicing. practicing, you know. I'm always practicing, trying new things. So that's nice. Looks great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Ben. I appreciate that comment. You know, I never had any formal training, really. So, you know, I'm kind of learning as I'm going, and I haven't made many tall pieces. I don't know if I really want to make the tall pieces because I'm not sure where I'm going to put them, or where it would take up my whole freaking kiln. And right now it seems like more functional pieces like this is what people want. And so I'm going to be doing those, you know what I mean? It's like you kind of found your niche too. And I think potters eventually do, you know, they find that spot where they're at. And it seems like this is my niche, is doing bakeware and mugs and platters and bread makers and all kinds of stuff like that. So I even have a person that wants an urn, so I got to do an urn. I'm not even quite sure how tall to make the urn or how big to make the urn. I was told it needs to fit 2 people. So I don't know anything about that. I made one that I thought was big enough, and I made this one, which I don't think is big enough. I did 2 different tops. I did a flat top like that, and I made a top like this to fit like that, because I didn't know what kind of top they wanted. So anyhow, this is just bisque fired because I didn't think it was big enough. It might be good enough for a pet, or, you know. So anyhow, I think I found my niche. I'm just been experimenting on stuff. It's like these here for the butter bells, they call them, French butter bells. We have one, and I would make them, and they had a handle on here, like a knob. It was flat knob, but and when you flipped it over, it was nice because it would sit on the counter. But using it, I found that you could knock it over, and it would lay kind of like that, and then it would roll like this, you know. So I decided to make the flat tops. You know, you think, well, why not? You should have done that first, and I should have, but. So I did that, and then I also, when you pick this up out, you put water in there, obviously, to give it an airtight seal. But you pick it up, you have a little bit of water, it will drip. So when you rotate it, it would run down here. So I put a ledge here to help capture the water. So it's stuff like that where I'm trying to improve my pieces, thinking more about the use and all that, even more. Just like when the bottoms of my bakeware and stuff, I'll make the bottom raised. Sometimes there'll be 2 rings in here, the outer and the inner, because I think that helps with the baking. And so, I mean, everything's been going pretty good so far. So, pottery is definitely a journey. It sure is, Joyce. It's definitely a journey. I did end up buying a, I don't know if you're still on here, Ben, but I did get a extruder. I didn't think I'd ever buy an extruder, but then the more I thought about it, it would probably help save some time if I have a lot of mugs to do, or, you know, and stuff like that. So I tried it, and it actually works really good. I ended up purchasing one. I bought a Brent. It's the HD, whatever. So far, I like it. So far, it's a good heavy duty extruder, and I really like it. So we'll see how it goes with it. And then I bought and this was something that I wasn't sure I wanted to buy, but I bought a Giffen grip. I thought it would save time as far as trimming goes. Some of the pieces I don't even have to trim, but the ones that I do, it actually saves me time. So it's something, again, that I thought I'd never buy, but, you know, I was able to get one, so I'm blessed to have that. But yeah, so things are looking up. But anyhow, I will be live here every day, starting at 7:30 until whenever. And I appreciate everybody stopping in to watch me. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the bell for notifications so you're notified next time when I'm live, which will be tomorrow at 7:30. But yeah, do that, and you'll help this channel out. You'll help it grow. You'll help other people find me. I'm not looking to be a big channel. I'm just looking to have some fun, share my art with other people, maybe share a little bit about what I know, what I found out did not work. We've all been there as potters, for sure. But I had to stir it again because I waited too long. But anyhow, let's do some glazing. I love they already have a nice ring to them. I have a plate upstairs that my wife was using that I made, and I used white clay back in the day, and I found that this white clay I used, even though it was nice stoneware clay, it was not really good for using as plates or bowls. It tended to want to crack eventually. And I don't quite know why. It might be just because of the clay that it is. But every piece that I've had that I've done with the white clay stoneware, I had an issue with it. And so I'm no longer making anything out of that white stoneware clay. I have very little of it left anyhow. But I found that this stoneware I'm using now is really tough. It's really some good stuff, and we abuse it in our house. We make sure we abuse it, and that way I know it's going to last for somebody else. I mean, that's the whole point, is that the pieces last forever, and they're made a good quality as well. So, I'm constantly trying to get better and better at what I'm doing, and I don't think I'll ever stop doing that. I think there's always room for improvement. Anybody probably, Let's see. Never say never. Hey, Nicole, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate seeing you in here. I think you're new. Playoffs are on. Okay. I don't know if you've ever been here before, but thank you for coming and to my live. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that. Mistakes are my best teachers. I think, yeah, Joyce, I agree. Mistakes are the best teachers, I think, for everybody, right? It's great if you know something, and you know what's going to happen, but you don't sometimes know that unless you try it. And you ain't doing anything really unless you try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's see. Leah says, make sure you subscribe and to cop some pots. Visit Murray's website. Yeah, anyhow, yeah. I have a website. I sure do. Thank you, Leah. Put in more temperature adjustment. Put in more temperatures. I prefer to work with my red over the white pale. Okay. And then just seen you, but not for a pleasant surprise. Well, thank you. You're new-ish. Okay. Well, hey, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. And I'm going to be on every single night starting at 7:30. So if you have a chance, tune in tonight. I'm glazing. Okay. Not for everybody, but I'm glazing. And I don't know, tomorrow night, we'll probably be back on the wheel tomorrow night because these will be in the kiln. And so anyhow, 7:30 tomorrow night, we'll be on the wheel. So, but yeah, glazing's not for everybody. Sometimes it might be boring. I try to make it exciting, but I'm not a super exciting person anyhow. I try to be, but some might say I am. Let's see. How do I want to glaze this? I probably want to glaze the inside in there first and then pour it out. I think that's what I'll do. I mean, this inside really technically does not have to be glazed at all. But, since I'm doing it, might as well. And I guess in the end, it really kind of makes the piece look better if it is glazed as much as you can, where you think it, I think it would look weird if it wasn't glazed. Let's just put it that way. I think it would be weird if it wasn't glazed. And this is just the inside of the pedestal, so it's not really. It's not really going to matter, All right. Let's do in here now. I hope there's not too much of the black in here. We'll find out. Never glazed one of these before. So it'll really be interesting to see how this turns out. And I pray that it turns out nice. I'm making a mess over here. Like all glazed jobs are. They're just messy, guys. It's just messy. By the time I'm done glazing everything, I'll look like I'm a glazed specimen, you know? That actually looks like it's good coverage. I'm pretty happy with that, the way that covered. I got some runs and stuff I need to clean up, but other than that, it actually covered really nice. How's the view on the camera, by the way? Is this a good view, or should I try to be closer to the camera? Oops, see, I end up wearing it, I tell you. Hopefully the camera's good. I'm just using my phone, by the way. I don't have any special equipment or nothing like that. So what you see is kind of what you get. I can't really, I can get you closer. I do have a mic on, so hopefully that helps with any, get the AMSR going on here. Boy, this is, I'm going to have to glaze this again. I think I'm going to have to put more glaze on it. This is just one coat. There's no good way to hold this thing, you know? All right. I've got it all over my feet and everything. Let's go up here. You don't have enough. I wish I had a better way of doing this, but I don't see any other better way of doing this right now. I'm just going to have a lot of cleanup to do on it because there's spots that there's runs and stuff I'm going to have to clean up. So, all right, we'll let that go for now. I'll have to add another coat to it. This big platter, guys, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. I'm not quite sure. I got it all over me, by the way. It's all over me. How many people are having here? 8 people. Awesome. Let's see. Sounds good. See you tomorrow. Okay, Joyce. Yeah, just all right. Well, hopefully you do see me tomorrow. I'll be here. Just enough. Sounds good. Smoother on the hand than when lifting. Oh, I got you. Yep. Looks real good. You know, everything's not. Okay, good. All right. Camera is good, Terry. People can zoom in easy on the horizontal. Okay, cool. I didn't know you could actually zoom in on the horizontal. That's new for me. Let's see. With non-creepy and smart husband. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, this big platter, I am not sure. You know, it's almost, I almost feel like I have to pour the glaze into it, roll it around, and get it back in my bucket somehow. This is going to be real tricky for me because I don't know. I got to buy bigger buckets of glaze. There's no doubt about it because, I mean, I buy my glaze in the powdered form. And so I mix it up with the water and all that, but I just need bigger buckets and buy more glaze. That way I can do a better job here. Let's see. This piece has some weight to it. What time is it? 9:26. All right. Let me try. I'll get this one piece in here yet. This is going to be funny, guys. Don't make fun of me now, you hear? Let me stir this a little bit. Like I said, I hate to stir this up too much because of the heavier materials that are in here. They turn the piece more of a brown, like a burnt oatmeal, and I don't like that. So I'm not quite sure what they're putting in this stuff. When I get to making my own glazes, it'd be better. I can actually probably control a lot of that. But for now, I'm at this point in my career, and all right, I think we're going to let that go like that. All right, let's give this a shot. This could be a fail. I'm just going to roll it around inside here first to try to get as much of that rim coated with the glaze without it rolling off the edge on me. And this is a hard piece to do this with because it's so big. It's funny, it's almost dried by the time it gets around. Well, not completely dry, obviously, but run it around the middle again. There we go. Now we got that. Well, I guess I didn't fail at that one. You got a little bit of the rim there, but I could use a brush too. I don't really have any good brushes to do glazing, but anyhow, that gets me almost there. I think actually that's going to actually look pretty good when it's done. I have to probably do another coat with it yet, but that's with everything I just did tonight. I have to put another coat on it, second coat at least. So anyhow, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to do some more stuff in here, probably oatmeal as well, after I get my two pieces done, because those have to get done because of the order I have. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed tonight, and catch me tomorrow night, same time, same bat channel, you know, and hope you all had fun watching me, and join me tomorrow. Like I said, I hope you have a blessed evening, and I hope you have an even better day tomorrow. All right. You all have a good evening. Put in a tub. Yeah, that'd be a lot easier if I did that, huh? I don't have, that's what I was looking for, is a big giant tub. I have those, but I don't want to use those. They're for me packing up for my shows and stuff. Yeah, I agree, Nicole. Pour the glaze over it. Yeah. Take care, Terry, everyone. Okay, Ben, catch you later. Thanks. I have liked watching you more than basketball. Oh, hey, thank you. That's a good compliment. I appreciate that. All right, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow. You have a great evening, guys, and good night. Oh, okay.